You want to play 52 pickup with my deck of mini things? Oh, hello, Dungeon fans. I'm the Lich, and this is the Liching Hour. And before you do whatever it is you do when you get here, in Dungeon News. As you all know, Pudding Week was a great success. Puddings from all around the world came. There were the usual black puddings, there was brown puddings, there was green slimes who think they're puddings, and then there were pungent puddings, polite puddings, and danger puddings. I love those guys. There was one problem though. The pudding rec room wasn't big enough. There was a waiting list for the pudding after parties. Pudding Week was a runaway success. And the numbers haven't come in yet, but we're pretty sure we beat the world record for the amount of puddings in one place at one time, which means we might have beat out that other dungeon. It was awesome, and yes, most of the puddings have not left yet. I'm working on that. Please be patient while I help them move along. Alright? Should be a day or two, tops. That's the news for today. Enjoy your stay. Viva la Dungeon!
Hey everybody, it is Friday night, the Liching Hour. I am Kevin from level 9, and tonight our heroes are beginning a brand new adventure. A DCC original, People of the Pit. If you're new to the channel, this is all live. You are watching on Twitch, of course. If you're watching on YouTube, this is all live. I don't go into this with a whole lot of planning, and if you want to join in and leave comments or come and chat and offer up some input on what should happen and bits of the story to help flesh it out, that would be awesome. Please, more the merrier. Where were we? Oh, hit that subscriber follow. That would be awesome. No, seriously, very cool. And you'll know when I come on. We do the role playing on Fridays, and then Saturdays is board gaming, and then sporadically throughout the week I'll get on to do different games, whether it's board games or video games. Okay, all that's taken care of. It's time to get to the party. We last left our heroes. They had just slain. They were in the courtroom of an elvish court, an old timey, the kind of elves that our party elf Tasha had just heard about in stories when she was younger. I say party elf like it's something. It's the elves of this world had separated from their ancient ancestors a long time ago. Those ancient ancestors are the ones who live in the Fae world. They have the Seelie and Unseelie court. The king of Elfland rules over them. That's just the tiny little bits that Tasha has ever heard of when she was a kid. She's like 100 something years old. So our party and the with the intent of helping this small village of farmers, the village of Ing, at the behest of a baron who we don't know very well. At the behest of a baron, they infiltrated a Faerie Mound after several different bad things. They had to escape out of prison, and a couple fights went really wrong. But they found themselves in the courtroom and trying to persuade the ruling person to leave. That didn't end up going very well for them, probably because Armstrong was the one doing all the talking, and he found himself not. He's decided that elves leave a bad taste in his mouth. Although he likes Tasha, and in fact, he's starting to get confused about how he likes Tasha. But he didn't like these elves that he'd met in the Faerie Mound, and after waving around the unicorn horn that they had cut off of the unicorn, that, well, that's a long story. You'll have to tune in the last 2 episodes. But a fight broke out, a very big and epic fight in the courtroom of the Faerie Mound, and our heroes were valiant and successful in slaying everybody. The prince they did not know that this was a prince. He attempted to curse them several times, and it did not work for him, and he fell. They managed to escape. I say escape because there were still other inhabitants of the mound, and they escaped with just a little bit of grace. They were able to exit without any more encounters or fighting the remaining guards that were there. And they made it back to the village of Ing to find that they had been gone for a few more days than they had imagined. Time moved slightly different in the Faerie Mound. The villagers already kind of suspected they were dead, so they were pretty surprised and happy to see them. Celebration ensued. The party stayed there for a few days, licking their wounds and recovering some of the spell burns and other detriments that happened in order for them to escape the Faerie Mound. No other retaliation came from the Faerie Mound. That was also another reason why they stayed just a couple more days. What they didn't know, what they don't know, which Tasha starts to suspect, is, well, actually, let me back up. So Armstrong, our wizard, and when he and Jasper went back into the Faerie Mound in order to break the others out of the prison, he found a book, and it was a journal of someone who had entered the fairyland, and he saw value in it from a knowledge standpoint, but it wasn't value. He didn't feel as valuable to him. He took it as a way to offer to Tasha to trade her for the grimoire that she had, one of the grimoires she had, and she agreed. She agreed because this was it had to do with her past. She was very interested in reading this book, so she gave him the grimoire. She had already learned the spells that she could out of that, and there was one that's like a higher level than both of them, a little bit more advanced, and Armstrong couldn't even learn it yet, but he did manage to learn magic missile as well. So he learned a new spell out of this little deal. But this book was a journal of this missionary cleric called Oldor, as he went into Elfland in order to convert Fae. And we're going to read a bit from his journal. He writes, "The king of Elfland is not the realm's sole potentate. Not very often do you have to say that out loud. He shares his throne with the queen of Elfland, who is said to be every bit as cruel and malicious as he is regal and devoted to his subjects. From age to age, according to some elfin calendar I cannot fathom, the king is so usurped, and the king is the king is usurped, according to this calendar, and the queen of Elfland rules instead. During these times, Elfland and its inhabitants assume the qualities of their queen, their so-called unseelie natures, and become nightmares rather than the dreams we mortals believe them to be. I speculate it is this cyclical transformation that accounts for the changeable natures of fairies, how some describe them as helpful and beautiful, while others declare them to be evil and merciless. It is my sincerest hope that when I do at long last find an entrance to Elfland, I arrive while the king, devoted to his daughter and at least said to be open to meeting mortals, is upon the throne. If his co-regent, the queen, mother of an equally cruel and evil son, rules, I must hope the grace of Ulesh protects me from the evils of the unseelie fairies." And the journal ends abruptly after a brief note that he had found a fairy mound he believes leads to Elfland, but then he didn't make it. So this was that fairy mound. And after Tasha studies this for a few days and reading this, she begins to suspect that the noble elf that they killed might be the queen's son, and that worries her quite a bit. And she believes now that the fairy mound that they infiltrated was indeed an entrance to Elfland. He might be the queen of Elfland's son that they slain, and that the peace that they've brought Aang might be short-lived, because if he was sent there on the behest of his mother to cause problems for humans, then she's going to be doubly willing and vindictive and wanting to send more problems. and maybe even seek vengeance. So Tasha kind of keeps that to herself, and we're going to see where that goes later. Um, Meanwhile, the party journeys back to the city to speak with the Baron. The Baron's very happy that they were able to solve the problems of Aang. We don't know a lot about the Baron. I'm going to hit an NPC. I got to pull up an NPC generator for some traits. And just so we can get to know this guy, maybe I'm going to hit a generate new traits button right now. And we're going to see what we get. Okay, so the Baron is his hair is greasy. He's buck-toothed. He speaks very fast. He's a joker, but he's melancholy. Um, he's a reader. Okay. All right, we're gonna call him. His name is Demoner. 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 Note Demoner. Baron Demoner. Um, he said, yes, you've done very well, very well. So you think there will be no more trouble? And Naomi, our cleric, is our leader, um, very noble girl. She had suffered a great wound during this whole adventure and crushed her throat, and now she can only speak in a little bit of whispers. So, but because of her noble upbringing, she has managed to transform that into a way where she says less, which in effect says a lot more. And so and she's able to whisper in a way that people can the words she chooses to actually say, she can communicate as if she's actually talking loud, but she still, it takes a bit of effort. Yes, or she nods for yes and no. She doesn't have to speak for that. Just her whole demeanor is carrying her fine with demeanor with demeanor. Um, Baron's very happy with their work. He rewards them handsomely with gold. Um, there isn't a whole lot to spend it on in the city. It's more like the meat and food and room and board kind of thing. The party has a new member who I didn't add to the party yet. We need to do that. I need to do that. His name is Standish. He's a halfling. We have 2 halflings now. He was a halfling captured by the elves and stowed in the prison cell next to the other characters. Uh, he um, he proved himself useful in the final battle, and he asked if he could tag along, and they said sure. Uh, he's a likable little fellow. He's a scamp. Where Atticus is kind of the mariner, and he's a sailor. Uh, Standish is more of our land. He's our land halfling, and it's not too long before they're playing jokes on each other and stuff. So he's fitting in nicely. Tarloff, our pirate thief, he gets along with both of them very well. Quite the little family for those. However, Jasper, our warrior, he's growing more and more. Uh, I would say melancholy, but it's even deeper than that. He's suffering from dreams. When he killed the Titan in their very first adventure together, when he killed the Titan with the spear, he inherited this Titan's dreams of battle and grotesque and vulgar things, and he still can't sleep. Every night he's having these horrible dreams, and it's causing more and more driving him more and more outside. Every morning in the city, he can't stay. They've been there a week or two now. He can't stay. Every morning he's out in the wilderness, and he's becoming. Oh, here's a great way. He's becoming more and more feral, and we're not sure what's going to stop this. I don't know where this is going to go with him, but he's not getting a lot of sleep. He's only finding solace by going out in the woods and hunting and being with animals and nature. And he's becoming more and more wild and feral. And he barely speaks. He does feel an allegiance. He's looking at Naomi and Atticus and Tarluf and the halflings as kind of like his pack. That's he's At first he's observing wolves and other creatures in the wilderness and thinking in terms of them. He starts applying that stuff to them, but it's actually going a little deeper with him and his friends. He doesn't realize it yet, but it is. I don't know where this is gonna go. I don't know how this is gonna play out, but that's what he's dealing with. Tasha's got her secrets with the Elfland stuff, and then Armstrong, he's beginning to think that he's got feelings for Tasha, like actual feelings, um, as much as a person who's chaotic can. It's more of he wants to be an elf. He didn't like those other elves because they were too in there's too otherworldly, unattainable. He could be Tasha, he thinks. Her natural affinity for magic um, draws him, or natural confidence with it draws him. He wants to be very powerful. And let's see, that's everybody. Tarlov doesn't have any secret. His one, he had a sword called Whisper that indeed whispered to him to hurt other people, that he had taken from the pirate king they killed um, in the Tower of the Black Pearl adventure. Um, but that was confiscated by the elves when they went to prison. He was not able to retrieve that, and he's kind of thankful for it. He did trade in his sling uh, for a longbow uh, with the money that they received from the Baron. But other than that, nobody really updated. Nobody really bought more stuff with their. Just make sure they had the supplies and stuff for their next adventure, but they didn't really upgrade a lot. Because it's not like there's magic items for sale or anything like that. There's not a whole lot to spend their money on, and I'm not running it kind of like that. Um, okay, so that's where we stand. Uh, all that puts us at about a couple weeks after the events of the Queen of Elfland's son, the last adventure. And today, a runner comes with a message for the Baron. They're being summoned. They've become around town. They're becoming known as, I don't know. Does anybody have an idea what we could call these guys? What around town? What would they call these guys? Like, it's not the Fellowship. They're but they're This party has started to, because there's whispers and rumors. They killed. Well, first off, they killed um, the pirate, the infamous pirate. Um, so infamous that I can't even remember her name. That's his that he was it was a he, his name. This is gonna bug me. It's like red something. Uh, Not only did they bring the head of this infamous pirate, but they also just got back from some adventure that the Baron had sent them on, that everyone's rumors said that took them right into the heart of Elfland. Of course, it didn't, but you know how rumors are. Savage Quinn was the name of the pirate lord and owner of Whisper, the chaotic sword. So we need a name for this crew. Anybody want to chime in, comments, or come and chat? You got a name for us? We'll use it. Moving on, the party kind of gathered up. Maybe Jasper wasn't with them because he's never around during the day, and they went off to the Baron. And the Baron is, oh, well, it seems that the Regent. Now the Regent is going to be the person above him. It seems the regent has made calls for um, for the for heroes of such as yourselves to visit a province in the very far to the south that is encountering some kind of strange problems uh, around and near the chasm. He says that. He says the chasm like we're supposed to know what he's talking about. He said it was a cat. You can hear the capital C, but the part we just all nod. Yeah, we okay. It's like, uh, I sent word that I would send my best people to help. I ensure no, I am sure that you will prove to be quite valuable to both he and I. Um, yes, of course. How far is this? This is going to be a few weeks travel. It's pretty far south um, to wherever this is. They're going to a village called, I don't think there's an actual village named here, so we're going to come up with a village name. Tarrendale. Yeah, Tarren Mill. No. Tarrendale. You go into the province of Tarrendale to the village. That just became the province, so the village just became Harrenhal. Yeah, let's just rip off everything, man. So yeah, Harrenhal. Harrenhal. The province of Tarrendale, the village of the town of Harrenhal. Go there, see what problems they're having, and fix them. Well, nice and specific. We're your fixers, sir. At once, Naomi whispers. I like it. I will see that it's very beneficial for you. If you come back, I'll give you Holmes, the city. That's cool. They'll have a home. Home? Did he say homes? Everybody looks at each other. I don't know if we heard S or not. Or maybe it was just a, we give you home. So, okay. Well, we got that to look forward to. Like base of operations, right? This is becoming a little thing. We're becoming important people in this Baron's world. So they go back. We're gonna go back. Jasper comes in late, as he usually does, and Naomi speaks with him, and he likes the idea of going 2 weeks out somewhere else, down into another place, another land that he can observe. And the next day, they gather up equipment, and everybody's on board, and we're a go. So the journey takes them through small towns. There's a few different roads they'll have to go on to carry on to get down to wherever this is. There's a few towns they pass through. As they're going through, as they get closer and closer, they believe they start and they're asking questions. They hear about the Great Ravine, as it's called, that is like stretches for hundreds of miles in either direction, east and west. Um, People say it's thousands of feet across. It's just massive, and as they start getting closer and closer, even more closer, even closer, they start hearing stories of the pit beast that comes crawling out to ravage the countryside uh, all the time, every day. It's ravaging. It's the home of the pit beast. Gigantic tentacles that rip out of the ravine and just wipe away whole towns. um, nearby. Um, and it's almost 2 weeks when they reach Harrenhal, the village of Harrenhal, and it's just big enough to be a town. And there they in the square uh, there's call outs every day. There's someone out there calling for people to help uh, turn back the tide of disappearances and terrible things that have been happening as these people have been coming out of the darkness, and everybody believes they're coming from the pit, the ravine that is a little bit further south of uh, of them as they come in, and yeah, the party. I'm trying to think of something other than just the they. I want to say just to get us to what we need to be doing. The They meet with somebody and somebody tells them what needs to happen, right? The adventure itself doesn't outline too much. That leaves it up to me. Ooh, that's pretty sweet. Look at that. So I want to come something a little more. They come into town. They stay at the local inn. It's not very long before someone comes bursting in. Um, so you strangers here. Strangers? Are you strangers here? Never seen you before. Big soot covered man. Uh, Naomi nods. Atticus, yeah, what can we do for you, buddy? Maybe we are. We're here. We're here looking. We've been sent here to help. There's been trouble here. You could say that. The damn pit beast. The damn people. They've taken my daughter. Slow down, sir. Slow down. Who's taken your daughter? The damn people of the pit. Well, could you be more specific? the they come in. They come at night. They have these great tentacles that come with them. They're hooded and robed. At least that's what Karen told me. Who's Karen? Karen Mill. Karen Mill. He's a farmer now down from my blacksmithy. He's seen them. He's seen them. They come from the pit. Will you go in the pit and save my daughter? She's all I have left of her mother. Um, well, we're here, sir, to help everyone. So that's going to be our little bit of a backdrop of our story. The party has there's a little bit of an emotional hook, at least for our lawful people. As they investigate around town, they find out there's more sightings of um, these hooded figures that are coming out and doing things, and they learn a little bit about the story. We're going to do that there. Uh, the Great Pit splits the earth, dividing the fertile northlands from the wastes of the south. A great blubbery, tentacled beast lives at the bottom of the ravine, and in eons past it would ravage the land once every generation, rising hundreds of feet above the ravine's edge before it shambled forth on slithering appendages to devour all living things in its path. When a powerful warrior priest organized the neighboring villages to offer periodic sacrifices of a dozen virgins every decade, the pit beast's attacks were controlled, but at a cost civilized man could not stomach. The warrior priest was dishonored and his order chased away. The pit beast retreated to safety within the ravine itself. Now a decade has passed since the last sacrifice, and the rumbles of the pit beast can once more be heard deep in the pit. This time, though, there's another factor. People have emerged from the pit, herding great slithering tentacles before them. These people of the pit wear gray robes and have no faces. The local peasants have chased the roadmen away on numerous occasions, and now the humble folk around the ravine fear for their safety. It was enough to fear the beast of the pit. Now they must fear the people of the pit as well. You, our party needs to explore this great ravine in order to help these people. That's what they're here to do in this faraway land. Um, this might be the end of them. They got to go into the pit. This is a pretty epic kind of thing. It's a level 1. That's what I love about. That's what I love about Dungeon Crawl Classics. These level 1 ventures aren't, hey, go in the cellar and kill a bunch of rats. No, it's go to the bottom of this gigantic ravine and slay the gigantic pit beast. If that's what happens, we will see. So the blacksmith shows them out, takes them out when they're ready, takes them out to where they used to be, the sacrifices used to happen, right at the bluff over top of the pit of a portion of the ravine, a particular large pit, more circular portion of the ravine. And they stand atop this rocky bluff, rising high above 100-foot wide pit. A stinking gray mist rises from the pit, which sinks into the earth about a quarter mile from the great ravine. It's from this pit, the legends say, that the pit beast would emerge to feast upon maidens chained to the bluff. Beside them is a stout iron pole driven deep into the rock with a dozen large rings welded to its length. The rock below is stained rusty red, and the ground is littered with broken links of chain. Hundreds of maidens had died here. It smelled like it too. And they may die again unless they face these people of the pit. So they cautiously start looking around the area. They get a lay of the land. They walk up to the edge to look around the pit. The pit's about 100 feet wide. There's an ancient stone staircase that's carved into its edge that spirals down around its rim, eventually disappearing into the stinking mist. There's a clear vanishing point where the stairs disappear into the thickening mist. And at that place is where Atticus, he just makes out some dark shapes moving up the stairs. He says, we might have visitors once we get down on the steps. Good. It was the first. This comes from Jasper. It surprises everybody. Good, because he doesn't speak very often anymore. Everybody looks at each other, especially Atticus and Tarloff, because they've been a little worried about him. They've noticed his withdrawal, yeah. How he's withdrawn, how he's been withdrawn. Especially over the last couple weeks as they've been traveling together. So these stairs are like these stairs, whatever. They're kind of narrow. The closer they get to they have to go down the bluff and go down a slight hill to get to the stairs that start leading down into the pit. The closer they get, the worse the pit smells. It stinks of rot and disease, and the very mist itself seems cloying and dangerous. At the pit's edge, they see wide stone steps carved into the side, their edges slippery and worn by time and the elements. About a quarter turn around the pit's edge, the steps disappear in the dark mist, where the murky shapes move about. They're pretty narrow. They're going to have to go in single file. And so we're going to figure that out. This is a lot of these people in our group just happen to be a little more skilled with ranged weapons than they are melee. Which has meant that Naomi, our cleric, has the best armor. She's got chainmail. She's been the one that's going out in front and being kind of like a tank. Hey, Heroic. Nice to see you, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Um, she she's been in a little bit of the tank. It hasn't worked out that great a couple times. That's pretty much why her throat's crushed now. But that's well, yeah. So Jasper is our warrior though, and he's gonna have to start shouldering the tankage. Him and Naomi are gonna go up in front. Although he's got a crossbow he named Babe after the his he's in his last life he was an animal trainer and he had a pony named Babe. I believe it was the pony. I think it was his pony that he lost off the invisible bridge over the ocean in the adventure that they all met each other on. You'll have to see that. That's episode 1 of Wheel of Destiny. Um, he he's gonna go first. Jasper's gonna go first. Makes sense. It's our warrior. And then Naomi's gonna go after him, our cleric. And then Atticus sticks around Naomi. He's our he's one of the most he and Naomi are pure melee. He's got a couple of hand axes, and he really cares for Naomi, but in a more of a he's a good lieutenant kind of guy. Tarl. hmm. Then it's going to be Standish, who is a very weak. He's not. He's very weak. Very very weak. Um, but he was he was given a stipend, a little bit of money from what the Baron gave, and he got himself a nice little short bow to be helpful. He's going to be next, and then Tasha, Armstrong, the two spellcasters, Elf and Wizard, and then Tarloth is going to our our thief is going to bring up the rear. Okay, so they start going down slowly. It's slippery. If any of them want to go, like move, they can't move very fast. Otherwise, they're gonna have to make agility checks to not slip and fall into the 100-foot pit. I'm sorry, it's not a 100-foot pit. It looks like it goes down. They can't. They don't know how far. That could be thousands of feet. Um, so they got to move slow. And if anybody wants to go around the other one, they're gonna have to roll agility. They'll have to make an agility check to make sure they don't fall in the pit as well. The mists swirl as motion appears within. They've moved maybe the first quarter turn. They've kind of gone down a little bit, and that's when the shapes that Atticus had kind of seen start appearing in front of them. 5 gray-robed men emerge, holding wicked sickle-shaped blades in their hands. The heads beneath their hoods are blank flesh with no faces, and the robes around their waists ripple strangely. They sway their hands. They stop. When they come upon them, the robes men stop and they reach out to each other. And they start raise their hands. And they begin to make a strange ululating noise. I had to look this up, but it's like a howling, crazy kind of stuff, and swaying side to side, as if they're attempting to do something magical, maybe. Um, so that's where we are, and we're rolling initiative. I mean, how do you talk to things that have no face? Um, yeah. Okay. So we're gonna roll initiative here. Let's flip. Boom. All right. Who's first? We're going to roll for gray-robed, faceless people. 2. Haha. Haha. Yeah. And okay. Jasper. He's the one front in line. He's only doing a 6. Where you at, Jasper? He's got +2. Remember that. So 8. Naomi, she rolls a 14. +1 is 15. Atticus, 19. He has +1. He's 20. Standish, 18. Tasha, 4. I think she has a bonus. She does. 5. Armstrong, -1. He's a little slow, but still faster than everybody else. Tarloff, finally, Tarloff, 5. 5 +2, 7. All right. So Atticus is the first one to go. Makes sense because Atticus was a little bit more on edge. He was the first one to spot the shapes moving in the mist. So when they move it around, these guys, they come upon these guys, and the guys start doing their singing stuff. What is he gonna do? He's got a choice. He can try to go around, but he'd have to roll on every one of them. There's not much he can do. He doesn't have a ranged weapon, so he's going to have to pass. Well, or he can make his. Let's see, where is he at? He would have to go by Jasper and Naomi, so he'd have to make 2 checks. He is lucky. We're going to pass. We're not going to have him do that. He's itching to do it, but that seems foolhardy, right? So, Standish, same deal, is going to stand down. Naomi's going to attempt to turn these guys. Obviously they're doing some kind of ritual. They are definitely probably not neutral. Let's check on who she can. I think this is the type of people that she can turn, I believe. Let's check. Clerics can turn in DCC. Isn't just limited to undead. It can be chaotic monsters and things like that. So she can turn as a neutral cleric. She can turn mundane animals, undead, demons, devils, monsters, lycanthropes, perversions of nature. All right, so this isn't actually. This isn't necessarily her kind of thing. Well, I'll allow it. Because these things are definitely. Well, they're not demons, monsters. Oh. They are perversions of nature. For sure. They are perversions of nature. So we're going to give her a shot. So, Naomi, with her trident, she's kind of blessed and dedicated to Pelagia, the goddess of the ocean. She raises it, and she points it at him, and see, that's the whisper. But when she does this, and she speaks with the voice of her god, she Or because of her throat crushing, do we say that she can't do that anymore? She can't turn. So she attempts to do it. Let's roll and see if it happens. Let's do that first. She's going to attempt to do it. And, 6. +2 is 8. That's not working. So, well, the turning charts are in a different place, aren't they? Where are we at? The turning charts. I know she didn't make it, but I want to see how badly she didn't make it. 111 is no effect. Yeah. Oh, personality and luck. She doesn't have a luck modifier, does she? She has a luck modifier of 2. Oh. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So she did 10. Okay. So she raises her thing. She goes to speak her with the voice of her god, Pelagia, and all that comes out is a croak. Her face lights up with chagrin. She adds a point of her in her. She increases her disapproval range with her goddess. I don't think turning is going to be part of her repertoire now, which is kind of sad. So that was her turn. She attempted something. Something was attempted. Now it's Armstrong. He's back, and he's looking past, and he can see what's going on, and he's got 2 choices. He can throw a magic missile, which he hasn't had a chance to do it yet because he had just learned it, and it was and then, or he could cast a choking cloud to cover all of them. His thought is to, yeah. All right, he's going to attempt to cast a choking cloud to attempt to keep these guys from casting at all for the duration of however long they're here. He spell check of 2 plus 2. Oh, he has a short bow though. Should he take a shot at them? No, he's gonna answer magic with magic. Okay, this is awesome because yes. All right. This is a 1. This is the first time I've rolled a 1 with these guys for casting spells. I want to double check on this real quick. I think he might get corrupted, which is cool. Cool for us, not so cool for him. Yeah. So, anyway. Oh, geez. I gotta check on this misfiring stuff. Because he just might have really messed up everything around him. Misfires. No. Spells, misfire 120. Oh, these are generics. Sorry, guys. Hold on one second. If you don't mind. If you do not mind, I just want to. This doesn't happen very often. I want to make sure. I want to do it right. When you roll a 1, a natural 1, it's like a fumble with spells. With a cleric, you instantly, they have to roll on the chart. They've gotten disapproval from the deity, and they've got a tone for it right then. With a wizard, it's slightly different. A spell check of a natural 1 is always a failure. The result of 1 may also result in corruption or disapproval as described below. Okay. First off, he forgets the spell. He's forgotten Choking Cloud. He'll be able to get it back if he wants by okay, whatever. We're gonna roll. There's a chart for both misfires and for corruption, and I think I'm rolling on both of them. Is the way this works. That's just what I wanted to confirm. Is when and what to roll on both of them. Oh, it tells you right in the chart, right in the thing. Lost, failure, and worst. Roll 1d6 modified by luck. His luck is +1. So we're going to roll 1d6 +1. 5. Oh, he's lucky. He's not tainted. He's going to misfire, however. I don't know if that's lucky or not. We're going to roll 1d4 on the misfire chart. 3. Cloud of toxic gas inadvertently catches fire sparked by some nearby torch or lantern, explodes as it emerges from the caster's hand, causing 1d8 fire damage to the caster and everyone within 10 feet of him. Holy crap. So we're going to assume that, because I didn't say, and I should have, they should have had torches. At least Jasper with one in the front and Tarloff with one in the back. And since Armstrong is right at the back, right next to Tarloff, when he goes to cast it, that's when it explodes. We're gonna say that it's gonna hit Tasha, who's in front of him, and Tarloff, who's behind him. This is an auspicious beginning. I will tell you that. Very auspicious. Especially when you have a cleric who I roll so terrible for. It's almost consistent now that the first rolls of any spell checks, I really fuck them up, like really bad. All right, which one do I want to roll for these guys? Okay, we're gonna start with Tasha. Tasha gets hit with the burning gas for 6 points of damage. Holy crap! She screams out, "Ah!" It's bad. She's not down, but it's not good. Tarloff, 5 points of damage. And now we're gonna do, whoops, the man himself. Here we're Armstrong himself, 7 points of damage. It's okay. He's pretty hardy. He's he's the hardiest wizard I've ever seen. He's got an 18 stamina, which gives him 13 hit points. So he's got 6. So this happens. It's like, oh god! Everybody looks back, and they that doesn't stop the cultists from. In fact, they start chanting even louder, just like that, just like that. Oh boy! So that was Armstrong, and next up in the Inish chart is Jasper. Jasper hears what's going on there, but he's already narrowing his eyes, raising Babe. He's head ready. What's all this damage from? So Armstrong, the wizard, attempted to cast Choking Cloud. His thinking was he wanted to cast a choking cloud of gas on these cultists who were obviously doing something magical, some kind of ritual. And when he did that, as it started coming out of his hands, it connected with a torch just behind him and exploded all around them. Exploding, and the explosive gas hurt both Tasha in front of him, himself, and Tarloff behind him. It was bad juju, and it could have corrupted him as well, but he got lucky in it, and it did not corrupt him. Corrupting would be we roll on a chart, and he might grow certain patches of skin, or these things start happening to his body because of the magic and effing up that magic. Yeah, so Jasper narrows his eyes, raises Babe, and lets a bolt loose at these guys, at the one in front. Rolling a 16. And he rolls his deed die as well, which is a D3. Right, where's the D3? Here it is. This is for warriors. They roll their D die, which is for him right now is a 1D3. It gets larger as he goes up levels. So he adds that to that. So it's 17 plus 2. Oh no, plus 4 is 21. He hit for sure. And he's going to do 1D6 plus 2 plus the 3, 4, 5. And he gets 2 as a natural kind of thing because of his agility. But then he has the die too. So he's doing 6 points of damage. The bolt. Yeah. He failed. The reason why, yeah, he failed the spell check. He rolled a 1. 1 is misfire and possibly corruption for a wizard casting a spell. It doesn't happen all that often, but me rolling these kind of rolls in the beginning for every wizard, every spellcaster is pretty normal, I think. All right, so this bolt, Jasper lets loose a bolt from Babe, and it sinks into the first chest of one of the ululating cultists, and the ululating stops instantly, and the cultist drops to its knees, and then suddenly from inside the robes, these tentacles burst out as the body falls to the ground. They burst up out, and they're like red and gray, and they look like they're all bloody, but they got hooks and little jaws on them, just kind of flailing, and they begin moving up the stairs they've come bursting out of. And when Jasper sees that, he looks at the other cultists, and now he sees around their waistline, all of their robes are moving in these weird ways, suggesting that maybe these ripples are other tentacles in them, uh, behind their robes, underneath their robes. So that was Jasper, and now it is Tarloff. So Tarloff is patting himself. Oh God, fuck, yeah, he's we're gonna say that and then he's gonna, once he's got that down, he's gonna take out a short bow, but he doesn't have time to do anything with it just yet. I mean, he was just on fire. And then Tasha, same thing. She's next. She also is patting herself off from being on fire, um, and we'll see. Tarloff, he had swapped out his sling for a longbow, but he was holding a torch. So he's not going to do anything. He's going to wait this out. He's brushing himself off. Tasha had her short bow ready. She's she pats herself on, but we're going to give her a shot at shooting with the short bow. She sees the bolt hit the one and it goes down. She's leaning over. She might not see the tentacles. She's going to take a shot at another one of the cultists that is chanting. But she misses. She hears it ricochet off the wall and nothing changes. And then finally, it's the cultist's turn. The cultists. These gray-robed things. They rolling 4d6. We need some appropriate. Ooh, here we go. Appropriate dice. That's perfect. And no. You. Come on, I gotta have one more gray d. Yes. Haha. Perfect. This right here decides on some bad stuff can happen right now. Ooh. Oh, 6, 9, 10, 14, just nothing happens. Just barely nothing happens. So there's 4 left. Yeah. So Atticus, chomping at the bit, does he do something stupid? No, he's going to stay by Naomi. He really wants to get up in there, um, to get in there close and personal, but he's going to have to trust that thing. But Standish is not so smart. Yeah, he's actually not very smart at all. Standish is a new halfling heroic. He was in the cell with them in the Faerie Mound. He decided to come with them on this, come with them after they escaped the Faerie Mound, and then he ended up sticking around and coming on this new adventure. He might be exiting stage left right now. That'd be stage right actually, because he wants to prove himself. Oh no, he's got a short bow. He's not a melee guy anyway, so he is going to take a shot with a short bow. He could have did that before. Atticus has the hand axes, so Standish, he wants to be useful and rush up there, but he doesn't even have. He doesn't even have a dagger. He's just got a short bow, so he's got to take a shot. 11. 11. That's all he needs. That's all he needs. 3. 3 points. Oh. Standish puts an arrow right into the stomach of one of these things, and it hits the wall and falls down, and from its back, its lower back, these tentacles burst out. They can hear them, and they start coming up the stairs as well. So there's now 2 of these coming up the stairs. 3 of the cultists are actually, the cultists are this startles them and they stop chanting. That was Standish, and then Naomi. Naomi. What are you gonna do, Naomi? So, no, these things got to move 40 feet. The cultists are about 40 feet away. The tentacles that are coming up, they're moving pretty slowly, so they're not anywhere. She's gonna stay put. Now that the cultists are stopped from whatever they were doing and they didn't accomplish it, she's gonna stay put. No rushing into battle this time. Armstrong, what are you doing, buddy? He's profusely apologizing to everybody. He's quietly and with great focus, he's getting his short bow ready because he's gonna start taking shots at these guys. That was him, and then Jasper. Jasper loads up another bolt. Lowers it, takes aim. No, I like this one. Oh, actually. All right, he's 6 plus 4. Plus 4. But that doesn't hit. Does it? No, just barely. One of these guys, it goes into the robe and comes out, and he hears it hit the wall. Chunk, falls down into the pit. And then, let's put this out here. And then there was Tarloff. All right, Tarloff, he's holding that. So do you guys need help? Jasper's, no. All right. Tasha, she's gonna hit this time with her short. She doesn't, and she doesn't. Chink. Another armor. Let's another arrow. She's got 18 arrows now. You know what? She picked up some arrows. She needs a double quiver for this. 38. Okay. Yeah, that was a mess. And finally, the cultists. Okay, so these little tentacle things, little patches of group disgusting tentacles. Actually, let's get a good read on these because they're um, no, I guess not. A pulpy mash of flesh bursts from their abdomens. Pulpy mass. All right. This mass, it moves pretty slow, right? Yeah. So the two that are on the ground coming up the stairs are like moving themselves, and they're about half. They've closed about half of the distance. The other two cultists, I'm sorry, the three, right? There's two dead. Yeah, there was five. There's three of them. They've quit their ululating, and they've kind of looked. They've got their little knives, and they start moving up the stairs, as well, behind the little tentacles. So they're closing the distance. Um, Atticus, oh buddy, you want to act so bad. You would be super helpful up there, wouldn't you, buddy? He's gonna get in front of Naomi. He can't help himself. He needs to roll. Oh yeah, so he very simply moves around Naomi. Feels pretty good about it. He's going to attempt to go around Jasper so that he can take out these tentacle pit things as they come up. All right. He does it with like a fancy move. He like steps, spins, use the slippery surface in his spin around, come around, boom, he's ready. Um, that was basically his move. We're going to say that was his move. He's done. Um, okay, Standish is going to take a shot uh, at one of the cultists. Nope. Really? He only has 20 arrows, and he has already shot 2 of them. Okay. And that missed. Armstrong, what are you doing? Okay, Armstrong, see, everybody has bows. Armstrong's taking a shot with his short bow. Oh, jeez, come on. And he's not doing very well with that. I'm going to track arrows this time. I want to see how well we do. Okay. Jasper. Is it time to put down? No, he's not. He's staring at him, putting in another bolt, and misses again. The mist has started moving in a little bit more on the stairs. It's getting harder to see these guys moving up to a lot of things happen with the tentacles and stuff. He needs a few excuses. All right, Tarloff's gotten his longbow out. He can move over. He can see the things. So take careful aim. Oh, you know what? Armstrong failed to shoot. And that means he's got to roll. He's got a 50% chance to do friendly fire damage. And that would just pretty much, just be on par with how he's been doing. So 50 or more, he's hitting somebody. That'd be 100, right? Or is that 3? No, it's 3. That's not 100. That's 3. He did not hit anybody, so that's good. Tarloff, he's going to attempt to take a shot with his longbow at one of the cultists. Jeez. All right. We'll see who hits. If he hits, 28. He doesn't hit anybody. Okay. He doesn't hit anybody, which is not a. It's not a. Whew. All right. That was Tarloff. We are looking at Tasha. Tasha, are you going to be shooting? She's missed twice. We haven't rolled for friendly fire for her either. We have to do that. She's taking another shot. This time she connects. This time she connects. And boo. She only does a point of damage. 2 points of damage. Shunk. Hits one of the cultists in the shoulder. It starts moving forward again. Okay. We are. The first tentacle mast comes slithering up the stairs at Atticus and whips its spiky little tentacles at him. Yeah, exactly. Having a 20 give you a +1 forward or something, that would be pretty awesome. Okay. Okay, so this massive tentacles is like half the size, half the height of Atticus, who is like 3 foot tall. So it's like a foot and a half long, coming slithering up at him. The tentacles, he misjudges how fast these tentacles move, or that he doesn't see eyes or anything, so he doesn't think it's just moving. It's just moving mechanically, but when it gets close enough, suddenly it veers up and he maybe moves over a little bit, and it just goes right at him, much quicker than he thought, doing not very much, doing 2 points of damage, scraping his legs. They're nasty tentacles, maybe wrapping around one. The other one is right behind it. The gray robes fellows. It's going to be a big old melee in just a second. Not big old melee because they can't move. They've got to move one by one too. Yeah, but they'll be able to take a hit at. Yeah, we'll say next turn they're going to be able to start taking a hit at Atticus. Or whoever's front line at that point. So the cultists have moved up. There are two left, right? No, there's 2 tentacles. There's 3 cultists left. One's hurt pretty bad. They're all right behind the tentacle masses. The tentacle mass is going to move up. You know what? The other one moves up, is able to move up and take a hit. And while Atticus gets hit and the one wraps its leg around, the other one comes up as it's happening, and he's able to dodge it. He's able to move while the other one scrapes his leg. He's able to get out of the way. The cultists are right there. We're going to give them one more round before they can start hitting him. Yeah. So Atticus, with his double attacks, he's going to split his double attack up. I don't know if that's actually, we're going to say it's cool because he's got 2 hand axes in his hands. He's going to hit one. He's going to attack one mass and then the other. We'll roll 1d16 for both. He gets a +1. 12 or 13 on one and 5 on the other. Boo. So that sucks. That's all right. So the one that's biting him, that's not biting him, but that hit him and scraped him, he hurriedly with his left hand slices through it, slams it up against the wall. It's dead, and he goes swiping at the other one, but he misses it. So one's down. One of these slimy tentacle patches is dead. Um, Standish takes aim at one of the cultists, and oops, I'm gonna assume that's 100, double zeros. So he is definitely hitting somebody. There are 3 people in front. Well, it wouldn't be Atticus. There's 2 large people. It's either Naomi or Jasper. Naomi is 1 to 3. Standish's arrow slams into Naomi's back, doing 2 points of damage. Or it doesn't slam into her back, it just scrapes by her arm, let's say, getting through her chainmail, doing 2 points of damage. Right. Yeah, I've played Fate. I don't know. Oh, you're talking about Apocalypse World. Yeah. 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 Yeah, this is definitely more of an old school kind of attack system, right? You roll versus the AC and you hit. I prefer with other people. I prefer Apocalypse World. I really liked Apocalypse World kind of thing because I try to make the battles more dramatic, kind of let them unfold, less a mechanical, tactical kind of dudes on a map kind of thing. I like a more what's the word I'm looking for? More not it's actually not dramatic. It's more like a movie. Right. The hell just happened? Standish and Naomi. Oh God. Now what's she gonna do? Um, she turns, wastes her turn, sternly giving Standish a withering look. Watch what you're doing, boy, she says. Watch what you're doing. Maybe not the boy part. But she's kind of hamstrung right now. Uh, Armstrong is going to stop. He's not going to do anything. A lot of these people aren't going to do anything now. Too afraid of hurting people. Jasper reloads a bolt. We've got cultists that are that are going to start attacking Atticus, and he needs to take them out. But he's rolling so terrible. Holy Christ! So. All right, Jasper. What's that? He's about okay. Yeah. Keep track of his bolts. Okay. So yeah, he takes another shot at the cultists, and I got to roll to see. Nah, he's shooting over Atticus's head. He's not going to be hitting Atticus, but he's shooting down a little bit. No, nah. We're good there. Tarloff stuck. See, Tarloff starts considering climbing the wall so that he can get in position to help. If things don't turn soon, he's going to start climbing the wall. That's what he's decided. He's going to start climbing sheer surfaces, climbing up the wall, passing everybody because the wall doesn't look as slick as the steps are, and seeing if he can't go help whatever's going on. Tasha feels like she needs to save Atticus, so she's taking a shot. She's not going to chill out. She's going to take a shot. This time she hits. And another cultist falls. We're going to make a luck check. She's going to make a luck check. Her luck is pretty good. Her luck is 18. She's got incredible luck. The arrow sinks into the hits one of the cultists so hard that it spins around, slips, and falls off into the pit. Silence. They don't hear it hit or hit anything on the bottom. 2 cultists left. We're going to roll for these guys. Oh, we're going to roll a morale check for these guys. Also, where did that go? They the 2 that are left, almost without, almost a silent, at the same time they both turn, like almost like they're silently talking to each other, and they start moving quickly down the steps back into the fog, leaving the party to deal with the last mass of tentacles that's attacking Atticus right now. It slices out at him, missing him. He dances around it, and let's see, we're gonna let him take it. Yeah, he's next up anyway, and he makes quick work of it. He looks up at Jasper. Should we head? Yes, let's go. Jasper has his bolt, has his crossbow loaded. Everybody loads up on their arrows and they start moving slowly down into the pit, but only as fast as they are willing to dare, following wherever the priest cultist person went. About the first quarter turn, a little past that, they were a little bit back farther, about, I don't know, 50 feet from that. The stairs level out a little bit to at a crumbling stone landing, about 8 foot square. About 8 foot square. A thick stone door inscribed with odd shapes leads into the natural rock. So they come across the landing, and there's a big stone door. Let's see what we can find out about this door. Yeah. So first off, Tasha is going to look at the door and see if she can't interpret what these are. And she says, these are so old. I have no idea where they've come from, and or what they even mean. Armstrong, he looks too, and then he goes, yeah, I do not know either. No idea. Jasper's not super strong. Who's our strong? Someone's kind of strong. Naomi's strong. Naomi says, Jasper, help. Come. It looks like the door goes in, right? Is that how it is? Yeah, it can be pushed open. It looks like it swings in. So Naomi tries it and whispers to Jasper to come help her try. And they're going to try pushing the door in to open it. The stairs keep going down, by the way. This didn't look like it was opened. They don't think they're not sure if the cultists went in here or they kept going down the stairs. But the idea of maybe getting off these stairs is attractive to all of them. Meanwhile, Atticus is looking down into the mists. We'll get back to him in just a second. Okay, so it is Naomi's strength check. All right. They push and push, and they can't get the door open. Atticus goes, hey, it looks like, yeah, there's a cave down below. That's just like 15 feet down. There's a kind of large cave. So we have a choice here. We could continue down the stairs going down the edge of the pit, or we have quite a bit of rope between them, everybody. We could crawl down into the hole, the cave mouth below. Pros and cons. Going down the stairs, pro. The stairs are there. They're real. They go down. They're going to lead them to wherever the stuff is happening. Con. The cultist retreated down there. They might be laying there in ambush or something. They could be. Hole in the wall cave 15 feet below. Pro. It's a non-expected entry to wherever they're going. It could be. It could be an unexpected entry point that might not have people waiting for them. Con, uh, it could be just a hole. Someone's gonna have to climb down there and check it out. It could be, the con is they don't know. We don't know what's in there. So I would ask uh, you, gentle viewer, where we think our party should go. Climb down the rope into the cave they see below the platform, or continue on down the stairs. Oh, they're just getting started, Heroic. These guys are just getting started. Their destiny, they've spun the wheel of destiny. They've kind of given themselves over to this lifestyle, but they have been through a lot. They have been through a lot. I have a feeling they're going to be through more, and if they survive this one. But what do you think? Do you think they should go down in the hole, climb down the hole below, or continue down the stairs? Um, I'm gonna roll for it if there's no strong opinion either way. All right, you say rope. Anybody else want to chime in? We will go rope. So after discussing things and discussing the pros and cons, they decide, well, it's only 50, about what, 15 feet? We've got 100 feet of rope between us. We've got a grappling hook. We've got a strong person that can hold us. Why not just send Standish or Atticus as? Because I'll go. We'll send Atticus down to scout it out, see what's down there, and if it goes in, then maybe we found a secret way in. Everybody kind of okay. So they tie some rope around Naomi, and Jasper holds it too, and then Atticus kind of goes down. It's a pretty simple climb for them, and he climb for him. Kind of Jimmy's down and kind of goes into the. Let's see, where does that put him? Yeah. So where he finds himself is it's a it's a good 10-15 foot cave opening. He goes in and it definitely goes it's definitely not a dead end. It's a low ceiling, humid kind of cave, what he can see, and there's stalactites hang from the ceiling, big, large, very large ones. And in many places they meet the floor, creating a forest of pillars he sees. Um, he uses infravision, and he doesn't see anything in there, anything yet. Uh, but he does see that it's really, really dark in there. He gets the feeling that once you get past the cave mouth, it gets really dark really fast because there's no natural light whatsoever about 10 feet in. So he climbs back up and he says, well, this is definitely a way in, possibly, but it's going to be super, super dark uh, in there. So, shall we? Indirect approach always works. Well, it could always be helpful. Um, might always be helpful. Everybody looks at each other and goes, well, how are we going to do this logistically? Um, Well, they can attach, let's see, they can attach the grappling hook to the platform to climb down. Um, hmm. Actually, Tasha suggests casting her spider climb. She's going to cast spider climb. She wants to touch it on somebody else, but she's going to have to roll pretty good to do that, have that happen. But how strong is she? She's not too terribly unstrong, but she'll be able to bring the grappling hook back down. Or do we leave it as a potential? Well, they have torches. Yes, they have torches for sure. They definitely have torches. Um, so she's going to attempt to cast Spider Climb so she can retrieve the grappling hook. I'm going to roll off really quick. All right, there we go. Okay, +2. You got to be kidding me, man. I am a wizard bane. I'm wizard bane. Call me spellbane. So she attempts to cast spider climb, but to her embarrassment, it fizzles, and she goes, I'm sorry, I don't, I know I knew it, I don't know what. Um, Tarloff quickly steps up. Don't worry, it's fine. I'll be able to. We'll leave the grappling hook so we can climb back up out. So we're not gonna. We should roll for Naomi. She's gonna be making. She's gonna be climbing down this rope in chainmail. We should roll. Although I would hate to roll bad and lose her to the pit. But I mean, there's going to be that chance, and we have to decide right now. We have to see right now if look at how I'm rolling too. Let's see if the dice decides she lives or dies. We're going to give it a difficulty challenge of 5. She's got a good agility, and she can add her agility to it. Oh no, we'll add her strength. She's like strength too. So just don't roll a 1. So there's a moment where it looks like the hey, I'm West. Yeah, magic's very unreliable. Um, so there's a moment where where the grappling hook starts sliding, but it finds purchase again, and she's able to swing in, and she's fine. Everyone else makes it, and they're fine. They leave the rope. They're gonna leave the rope. Yeah, they're gonna leave the rope and the grappling hook set up the way it is, hoping that they're down one grappling hook, one rope. Um, no, Tasha, a little upset with herself for this happening. She takes out her dagger and she cuts herself a bit. She cuts herself to free her blood to attempt to cast spider climb again. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. She loses a point of stamina, and it doesn't work. It's not in the dice tonight. They light their torches. Let's see. Let us. They stare at the cave around them. Jasper lights a torch. Oh, does Jasper light a torch? No. No, he's not going to. Naomi's going to light a torch because her trident is one-handed. Jasper's going to keep his crossbow ready. Atticus is going to keep his hand axes ready. Standish is going to light a torch. Tasha's going to get her short bow out. Armstrong's going to get his short bow out, and Tarloff's going to... No, Armstrong's going to have a torch. Tarloff likes the dark. For darkies, dark's good for stabbies, for backstabbies. Okay, so we got 3 torchbearers, and we are moving in the same order. It's going to be Jasper, Naomi, Atticus, Standish, Tasha, Armstrong, and Tarloff as they move into this cave. Large cave. The torches cast long shadows that flicker amongst the pillars, making them seem almost human in the dim light. A constant dripping noise echoes all around. Blunk, 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 blunk. Yeah. How cautious are they moving? I wonder. These guys have been through a lot. They're a little seasoned, I would say. I'd say that they're taking their time. Those who have... Actually, let's rethink the torch. Let's rethink this. There's been several bad decisions throughout the course of the last couple of adventures that ended up in, say, like a crushed throat and things like that. So these guys are starting to learn how to work together a little bit better. Oh, that sucks, Heroic. Sorry to hear that, man. Hey, tomorrow night, by the way, if you end up going here, tomorrow night, I think I'm just gonna play Scythe Digital all night. So tune in, man, if you can. Okay, we're gonna do this a little more tactical, or try to attempt to get tactical. So our infravision people are Atticus, Standish, and Tasha. They should be in situations where they can see. So Naomi's going to take lead. Armstrong is going to take the rear. Both of them are going to have a torch. Atticus, Standish, and Tasha are going to be watching from the middle out. While Jasper is right behind Naomi with the crossbow, and Tarloff becomes the knight, as a thief would. And because they're doing this, they notice as they start moving into the cave, in between the big stalactite pillars, the drippings, suddenly Atticus and Standish let out a hiss, or let out the shapes moving, large shapes moving around us. And suddenly, just as if they said that on cue, as they say that, they hear this raucous hissing behind them, but they've already started turning. And a huge 4-legged lizard with a horn of brilliant gold lumbers from the shadows behind one of the pillars, tossing its head left and right as it comes. Another lizard emerges a dozen feet away to the side, hissing from half-open mouths. They lunge forward. You see them, they go, they come at them. So, yes, okay. So, these 4-legged, did we say there was 4-legged or 6-legged? They are 4, they have 4. Okay. Gold horns, large lizard things. These guys have never seen anything like these things. We're rolling initiative. Creatures. Hissing lizard creatures. 15. -1, 14. Naomi. 17. plus 1 is 18. Jasper, 12 plus 2 is 14. Atticus, 5 plus 1 is 6. Standish, 1. Tasha, 11 plus 1, 12. Armstrong, minus 1 is 5. And Tarloff. He gets something special. Whatever. 3, 4. Okay. First up is Naomi. Naomi's the first one to act. So, does she try to turn again? Is she got a little bit of hubris? She thinks she can, yeah, this is the kind of stuff that she can turn. These are perversions of nature, the monsters that she can turn. She's going to attempt to do this again. She uses her trident as her holy symbol. Her goddess being Pelagia, this of the sea. She moves forward and hisses like the monsters do. That's going to be her turn, because she can do that. Rolling the golden one. Oh. Okay. So, disapproval, 1. She's now disapproval range of 1 to 2. Or, I'm sorry, it would be 1 to 3. No. Yeah, 1 to 3. Yeah, it's 1 to 3. So, great. So she stands forward and raises her trident, and the thing comes barreling at her. Or it stops. One of them, no, the one she does that, it stops and looks at her. Yeah. That was Naomi. Jasper acts. The one that's charging at her, that Naomi tries to stop, it stops, levels its head at her, and he lets loose a bolt from Babe. Let's hope he rolls better than she does. Oh, and he needs to roll his D die. Okay, so that is a fumble. And he fumbles. He rolls a D12 on the fumble chart. 10. You should have maintained your armor. The joints of your armor seize up, freezing you in place. You cannot move or make an attack for 1d3 rounds. Wow. So, Jasper's having spent, he's got hide armor that he's kind of built up off of the hunting he's been doing so much, but he's been spending so much time out in the elements, outside of the city and hunting in the forest and stuff, to lose himself, that as he hasn't been taking care of his armor, and the moisture and stuff like that has rusted up the metal parts or something, and it's caught him, and he is caught for 1d3 rounds. 1 round. Ooh, 1 round. All right, Jasper's out of it. 1 round. Boo. Okay, this could be interesting. So this could be interesting. All right, so this is the lizard's time. The first lizard that Naomi just tried to turn, he stops and he stares at her, and she's staring at it, and suddenly she feels where is she? Naomi. Okay. Whew. It stares at her, and she feels this malevolent kind of magic. She feels something different in its eyes, but she's able to resist it. But she's able to resist it. We'll just put it like that. The other one, let's see what's going on. The other one, because Jasper has come, he's behind her, go to shoot, and he kind of stops and is kind of frozen a bit. The other one comes up, stops, and stares at him. And is Jasper gonna roll as good? No. Jasper feels himself starting to harden and freeze even more literally. He finds himself paralyzed, even more so than his armor allowed. The armor malfunction foreshadowing what was now occurring as the basilisk begins to turn him to stone. So he's just paralyzed at the moment. Um, just paralyzed. Okay, who's up next? That was the creatures. Tasha. Tasha wants to move quick, but she wants to make sure something happens, so she's going to go with her best. She drops her short bow, and she sees what's happening. She sees these things stopping and staring. She knows something's going on. Why are they not attacking? Um, Jasper, Jasper not firing off his crossbow and just going still. She needs to act quick. Her magic missile takes too long to cast just because of her mercurial effect. So she comes out and puts out both her hands and's going to attempt to cast flaming hands at the one that's staring at. The way I'm imagining this is Naomi's here and she'd gotten the one, and then but on the other side of it to her right, this other one to come up, and that's where Jasper is. Tasha is going to come around Jasper and shoot the flaming hands at the one that's staring at him. And hopefully, I roll well for her. Okay, well enough. That's a 14. That's a 14. Manifestation. Her skin blackens on her hands. She puts up her hands. She speaks her words of power, and she feels it flowing through her, and she feels the power and relief because it's actually happening. And her skin blackens away from her hands and peels away to reveal these skeletal hands dripping with lava as the fire shoots out, burning the basilisk for 4 points of damage. And yeah, okay. Okay. I would say that it swings its head around at her now. Yeah. Yeah. I'd say you don't take 4 points of fire damage without interrupting a gaze. So that was Tasha. That's 12, and now it is Atticus. Atticus sprints forward to attack with both attack the knees of the basilisk that's staring at Naomi. He's rolling 2d16. 9, 3. He misses with both. It finds no purchase on the rough-hewn skin of the basilisk. Now it's Armstrong. So, yeah. Okay. Armstrong is going to attempt to cast sleep. He's going to put both these things to sleep. That's his intent. Sleep is such an awesome spell. 11 plus 2 is 13, which does indeed work. When he casts sleep, just for him, a wave of energy bursts out of him, healing everybody within 15 feet of him, which is good because Tasha is near him, right? Yes. Tasha gets healed for. I'd forgotten that she'd been hurt by the fire. They'd all forgotten that. I guess Naomi's kind of slacking on her job. Yeah, I'll blame the cleric. But because of the mercurial effect from sleep, Armstrong heals Tasha for 3. So that's good. Because that might be. And then heals Tarloff for 2. Oh, 1d6 plus level, so that's another 1. So 7. And that's 2 is 3. Should roll in the box. That's pretty cool. All right, sleep. You rolled a 13. No, that's 15. One target within range just make a save or fall asleep for 1d6 turns. So that's good. So okay, will save. It's got to make a will save of 13 plus 1. How does this manifest? 4. 4. These waves of blue light burst out of Armstrong. They hit Tasha and Tarloff, healing them, and they spread out to the basilisk in front of him that he was targeting, but it goes through it, and it just it doesn't even notice it. It affects it nothing. There's no effect. Now it's Tarloff's turn. Tarloff is using the shadows. Let's see. He's well within range. He can move 30 feet. He is going to backstab, and then he's going to go for the one that's in front of Naomi that Atticus is attacking. And he's definitely going to be able to get around there in the dark. Well, I could say these things have... All right, we'll do hide in shadows roll for him first. 8 plus 3 is 11. I was going to give it a DC of 10. He made it. All right, and now he's going to move and he's going to attack. Get backstab with his steely knife. He's going to have to hit pretty hard because these guys, their armor class is really good. There's the 7, not a 1, so he does not fumble, but he does not, it slides off his scales. He does not hit it with enough strength to puncture it. Boo. Boo. Okay. And finally is Standish. He's got a torch. Standish drops the torch at his feet and equips his short bow. And then we're back at the top of the list with Naomi. Naomi grits her teeth. Okay. Is she going to bless herself? No. She's going to stride up with her trident and just stab this thing. Screw it. If her goddess isn't going to help her out, then she needs to stop relying on her goddess so much. She's going to attack it with her trident. Okay. All right. Well, fine. That was a 10. 10 plus 11 is not enough to hit this thing. These things are going to be a problem. Indeed. Nice try, Naomi. It didn't work. Chink. How are they going to kill these things? Maybe we should run. Jasper's up. Jasper. Yeah. So I'm assuming that if it breaks gaze. He's no longer paralyzed, but he's still paralyzed from his armor malfunction. So he's out this round. Boo. Jasper's out. Tasha. So Tasha attempted to cast Flaming. No, she didn't attempt to cast. She casted Flaming Hands and it worked. And the Flaming Hands is working. The fire is working. It singed it. It drew its gaze away from. Oh wait, no, it's not her turn. It's the basilisk's turn. The one that's fighting. Okay, so the one engaged with Atticus and Naomi. How many hits do these guys get? They get to act twice. So this is what's going to happen. He's going to take a swipe at Atticus and he's going to bite at Naomi. So Atticus' armor class is 13. He has +3 with his melee claw. Oh, that was a 16. He's hitting 1d4. Ooh. He takes a swipe at Atticus and hits him full on, scraping him across his face and chest for 4 points of damage. And then with his bite, he goes out to bite at Naomi, but all he finds is a mouthful of chainmail. Or a mouthful of her trident. He missed, so that's good. The other one, let's see what happened. The other one, let's see. Armstrong attempted to cast sleep. Tasha's come out and shot fire at this thing. It turns its gaze, and it's fixing its gaze on her. So she needs to make a will check. Her will saves are +1. Okay. Come on, Tasha. +1 is 12 is just enough. No, it is not. She finds herself paralyzed, stuck in it like a deer in the headlights. So she's the next one in line. So she does not. She does nothing. Okay. So that puts us at Atticus. Atticus. He wants to cause some trouble. He's not doing well with his D16 hits. So he's going to attack with just his one-hand axe. The D20. Oh, that's what it is. I realized that. No, these guys are too high armor class. He's going to roll with one-hand axe. That's another 7. Oh, that was a 7. His hand axe is not finding any purchase on the hide of the basilisk. And luck isn't going to help him. What I was thinking is, so what I'm realizing about the halflings is halflings are naturally able to be better at double two-handed fighting. But they have to roll a die less than a d20, so a d16. But that's like a big decrease. But I'm wondering if the idea is when they spend their luck, they spend 1 luck, they get 2 points for every luck they spend. I wonder if the idea is to use that in tandem, so they can do, he would end up doing 2d6 points of damage with both his hand axes if he was using his luck. But these guys, his armor class is pretty high, so I don't know if that's a good idea with that little system. So I'll have to remember that for later, though. Atticus misses. Standish. All right, Standish has his longbow. He's up next. No. Armstrong is. Armstrong. He's going to attempt to cast sleep again. Yes. most certainly. Yeah. Sucks. So he would need 7. Well, no. That's +2 is 7. He would spend 5 luck to not forget sleep. No. He has forgotten sleep. Damn, dude. I roll so bad for spellcasters. It's gotten to be kind of sad, actually. Really sad. Within the first 2 encounters of each adventure we've been playing, most of my spellcasters forget their spells. That's just ridiculous. Okay, whatever. Tarloff. Tarloff. He's going to attempt to backstab this MFer. He gets it's +1 backstab. Actually, it's +2. There's some. Finally, we get a crit. Finally, a little bit of luck. The dice heard me crying. All right. All thieves and elves roll on crit table 2. And he rolls. I'm sorry. What's he rolling on crit table? He rolls a 1d10 on the crit table. 3. Clean strike to back. Inflict +2d6 damage with this strike. All right, he is doing 1d10 +2d6 damage. Finally. Let's see. 1d10 +2d6. Does he got any other pluses? No. Is that a 9? Nice. 9, 10, 14 points of damage. So Tarloff, the first time, he goes to stab it, it moves because it goes to swing at Atticus and bite at him, and he misses and it slides off his scales. But when it moves, he notices the back of its neck and the way the scales kind of move, and timing it right for the next hit, he finds it jams it up in there and jams it right up in the back of its neck into its brain. It screams and he falls down on top of it, and he one-shot it. Boom. Yes, so satisfying. One shot of Basilisk. One's down. The next. Oh no, that was that one. Awesome. Good job, dude. Nice crit. Okay. Back in business. That was Tarloff. And now Standish is taking a deep breath and taking a shot at the one that's the one that's left. And he totally misses, and the arrow goes off into the night. All right, back to the top of the list. Naomi. Naomi watches, suddenly it lurches forward and then falls down, and she sees Tarloff on it. He just looks up and gives her a wink. This one's for you, he says. This one's for you. She nods, and then she looks over at the one that's staring at Tasha. And she lets out a whispered scream and runs at it and stabs it with her trident. Hits it for 17, not for 17, but she hits it with a 17, doing 1d6 plus 1. 5 points of damage. It screams in pain, breaking its gaze. on Tasha. Jasper, freed up, turns and lets loose the bolt from Babe into that one. Or hopefully into that one. Into that one, rolling a 16, definitely. Oh, he rolled his D die too. Thunk. It the bolt buries itself in its head and it falls. Everybody stays quiet. Is there another one? Are there any more? Surely if us fighting would have brought more. Armstrong walks over. He's big on horns. He's got a unicorn horn that he uses as a weapon. And he's like, those horns look like they're made of pure gold. Ah, you're right. Tarloff gets down and cuts off, and they take the two horns, which are basilisk horns. Worth quite a bit of gold if melted down. Right, this is where we're going to leave our heroes. They are in the middle of a large cave. They've just slain two basilisks and made it out alive. They're going to be continuing deeper in to wherever this is in order to find the people of Pit, hopefully rescue the blacksmith's daughter, and rid the world of this problem of the great tentacled beast. We're going to leave it there for tonight. Tune in next Friday for the next part of People of the Pit. Other than that, had a great time. Thanks for joining, and feel the dungeon.